Welcome to Asset Insights. If you spend enough time in crypto, you start to notice something strange. We talk about decentralization, we talk about adoption, we talk about institutions, payments, and real-world usage, but almost nobody wants to talk about the uncomfortable part. Public blockchains are completely transparent. Every payment, every wallet, every interaction. That's fine for experiments, it's fine for speculation, it's fine when the stakes are low. It's not fine when crypto starts touching payroll, businesses, charities, personal spending, or anything that looks remotely like normal life. And that's the gap Ghostware has stepped into. Not loudly, not with noise, not with empty promises, just building. Ghostware is positioning itself as a privacy layer designed specifically for Solana, not a bolt-on tool, not a gimmick. Infrastructure. Solana gives you speed, scale, and cost efficiency. Ghostware focuses on the part Solana doesn't solve by default: discretion. Because speed without privacy doesn't get you adoption. It gets you visibility, sometimes too much visibility. What's interesting here is how Ghostware is approaching this problem. They're not trying to turn Solana into something it isn't. They're not rebuilding the chain. They're not preaching ideology. They're adding optional privacy rails that slot directly into existing workflows. If you want to transact privately, you can. If you want to communicate without leaving a trail, you can. If you want to reduce long-term exposure, you can. That's the key word here. Optional. Privacy that's forced doesn't scale. Privacy that's available does. The toolset they've been rolling out reflects that thinking. Ghost Mask allows users to operate through aliases instead of raw wallet identities. Ghost Scrub focuses on reducing lingering metadata and traceability. Ghost Relay routes communications through encrypted relays designed to minimize leakage inside the Ghostware framework. These aren't flashy features. They're practical. They're the sort of things people only notice when they're missing. And Ghostware hasn't stopped at single tools. They're building a stack: payments, transfers, messaging, and identity shielding. All designed to work inside Solana's environment instead of pulling users away from it. That design choice matters more than most people realize, because friction kills usage. One of the strongest signals around Ghostware isn't marketing. It's where the integrations are happening. Solflare didn't add Ghostware by accident. That puts privacy tools directly inside one of Solana's most widely used wallets. No new app, no new learning curve, no jumping through hoops. Privacy becomes something you can access, not something you have to chase. Moonshot took a different angle: onboarding, introducing new users to privacy tools early instead of as an afterthought. That's subtle, but powerful. Beldex brings network-level privacy experience into the mix. Zebek introduces private routing into payroll and treasury flows. Now skip back and replay that bit again. Payroll, treasury, settlements. That's not retail noise. That's infrastructure territory. This is where the project's direction becomes clear. Ghostware isn't building for screenshots. They're building for systems. You can also see it in how fast they ship. GhostPay laid the groundwork with private on-chain payments. GhostSwap expanded into privacy-first asset movement. GhostSend pushed sender-obscured transfers live. Each release adds another layer, not another distraction. Nothing feels abandoned. Nothing feels rushed. It feels like a team working from a plan instead of a calendar. Looking forward, the roadmap keeps leaning in the same direction. Stealth payments, advanced private routing, enterprise-grade use cases, NGO and organizational tooling, deeper cryptographic protection at the network level. This isn't about hiding activity, it's about controlling exposure. That distinction is important. Quick disclaimer, this video is for informational and educational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. Crypto is extremely volatile, and you can lose all the money you invest, so do not invest money you can't afford to lose. You must do your own research and know what it is you're investing in. This channel is to educate you on crypto projects, so you have an idea of what they're about, or what's currently happening with it. There's a big difference between privacy and secrecy. Privacy lets you function normally without broadcasting everything you do. Secrecy tries to erase existence. Ghostware is firmly in the first camp. Even the token structure reflects that mindset. Fully circulating supply, no drawn-out unlock schedules hanging over the ecosystem, no artificial scarcity games. The token supports usage, participation, and governance. You can also see the effects in the network data. Wallet counts growing, holder distribution staying relatively balanced, no obvious concentration pressure, engagement rising alongside product releases instead of detached from them. That's what organic adoption looks like when infrastructure starts finding its place. And zoom out for a second. Regulators are talking about transparency, institutions are talking about compliance, users are talking about surveillance, data exposure, and traceability. Something has to bridge those conversations. Total transparency doesn't work. Total opacity doesn't work either. Selective privacy does. That's the lane Ghostware is moving into. Quietly solving problems most people only notice once they hurt. If Solana continues pushing into payments, consumer apps, enterprise flows, and real-world settlement, privacy tooling doesn't become optional. It becomes expected. And that's where projects like Ghostware tend to earn their relevance, not through noise, but through necessity. Keep one eye on the build speed. Keep the other eye on the integrations. Keep both eyes on where this shows up next. Because infrastructure doesn't ask for attention, it accumulates it. I just want to say thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, it would mean the world to me if you could like it and subscribe to the channel. If there's a crypto project you would like us to cover, please let me know in the comments and we will ensure it's done for you. Thanks again and see you soon.